Well, we kind of figured coming from a Georgia fan, y'all want that responsibility. So,
But we rank number
yo,
one. We rank
all
number
right.
one.
Anywho, we are now live
I ain't
streaming
got nothing to say.
everyone
I
to.
ain't got nothing to say.
Hey,
So let's get
I,
into
I
it.
need to
So,
take this blanket behind me. I might need to take that motherfucker down too.
I mean, hey, never too.
if you
well,
notice, Harold don't have his background up no more.
no, I ain't repping. I ain't repping none of them.
Look, hey,
Not in your
look
little
at, hey,
Carolina jersey.
hey, but look, my damn wall been blank all year because ain't none of my team shit. Ain't no reason. look, the Lakers trash. Look, hey, oh, you know what? Hey, we got some breaking news about the damn the Lakers.
Did LeBron and Russ
um,
get into a fight?
No, I think
no,
LeBron got COVID.
yeah,
Yeah, I seen
I
that.
did. Yeah, that just came across my line. LeBron is gotten COVID now. So, yeah, and this new Omicron. I'm not trying to say that's the strain that he has, but it just shows, man, this thing is hanging around.
I got questions
So
though.
But
yeah.
also, isn't that supposed to be less lethal than the Delta?
I haven't heard that. I heard this has more strains than the Delta. Now,
I don't care about strains.
who
I care
knows?
lethality. I care about lethality.
Is
No,
that a
I
word?
don't know. He
That's
just
like,
made it up. It
would you
sounded pretty
rather be
good to me.
would you rather be stabbed with a needle or would you rather be shot with a nine? It's different. You can bleed to death eventually from that needle, but it's the
I mean,
lethality.
I'm still having trouble with lethality. I'm gonna have to look
Hey
that shit
man,
up on the commercial break. But
look
here's
man,
my question. Go
light
ahead,
skin
Doug.
works. Light
Okay,
skin
now
works.
you got that. Here's my question though.
Hey, oh, by the way, Chris, whenever he gets on, y'all remember the bet. And in our inbox, I just told him what he has to type his name to be.
Dude, that's too long. That is too long.
Okay, all right, okay. I'll just do this then.
You
Just
know
say
Tony. You know that's the best idea he had. And then you gonna make
right.
him start over and shit like that.
His,
It's
his
another week.
name is a his name is a paragraph. The
Oh,
fuck?
well, let's see if it'll allow it. If it'll allow it, then he
It's
has to
gonna
type that.
allow
If
it.
it Okay, well, again, that's the name that I
Harold,
want, and so he has.
let me send you my idea. How about this?
I mean, he
Well, while y'all swapping tiddlywinks, I'm gonna follow up on LeBron over here because I remember the dude early this season, early whatever summer, some damn time. My
Harold,
boy
check
was
your
like,
message.
he was like, hey, my vaccinated status is a private matter or some shit like that right there. Now,
Actually, okay, I like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but he has to
it's
type
all
it
good.
like this. He has to type
You
it
keep talking.
exactly
Keep talking. Hey,
how.
see, Harold, shut up.
Oh,
You're interrupting people.
Sorry.
anyway, my boy LeBron was like, yeah, my vaccine status is a private matter. It ain't nobody's business. I'm loosely translating what was said in the interview. But now your ass got COVID, so either you got a breakthrough case of COVID, or your black ass wasn't vaccinated. You pull the Aaron Rodgers and shit. Because usually when somebody said this is my personal business, it usually mean that you done did something. Either you like
That's
other
right.
boys, or you didn't do what you're supposed to do. One of
he
those
was
two
probably
things.
he was
Did you
probably in
really
a
just
strip
say that?
club.
Did you really just say
But
I mean,
I was trying to. So I was trying to like go the other way with it, but
uh-uh.
I'm gonna say. I mean, look,
Harold didn't hear a word he said either.
look.
I'm not.
But
Anytime somebody when they interview you, bro, y'all call you point out I'm lying, and this ain't got nothing to do with LeBron, but it do. Anytime somebody on TV talking about, well, my bedroom is my personal business, we already know what you're doing. It's like you just told us by not telling us. So Queen Latifah. So in that case, Janelle Monáe. So in LeBron's case,
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, yeah, it's a whole nother
First of
story.
all, that ain't his business. He putting his business into the streets.
But I'm like, but like in LeBron case, as soon as he said my vaccination status is my business, I was like, that fool ain't vaccinated. Now the culture again.
Of course.
The caveat is, unless he got a breakthrough case, which I don't believe, you've been rolling out here and all these damn showing up at all these events and shit, shaking hands, kissing babies. Now your ass got COVID. And you going to get that same heat that they said Kyrie some deserve and Aaron Rodgers deserve. Now your ass got to get some too because you've been fronting the whole thing.
Did he say that? Did he say that?
What?
I don't remember him saying that.
It was like, I think in the summertime, somebody asked him about it before the season started, and he was like, it's my personal business or whatever. Again, I'm not quoting him verbatim, but that's what he said. Like, hey, it ain't got nothing, it should be public shit. It's my business. It's a private matter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now somebody gonna bring the shit up. Somebody gonna have a clip of it at some point because he said it, and now you got to explain what happened. Because if you ain't got no breakthrough case, you didn't lead people to believe that you was straight when you wasn't. And I don't mean straight like
Aaron, I'll need you to fix. Oh,
Tony, you paying attention?
I got you.
All right. What else, CJ?
That is not the.
That's not the bet. That's not the bet.
That is
Don't
not
worry,
the bet.
Aaron.
That is not the bet, sir.
Aaron can change it. What just happened? Why are you there? Don't nobody want to see that non-connected beard up close. You want to put some up there, put up some greatness.
I can't read this shit. What is it? Former
so let's get into Aaron. While Aaron's changing it, let's get into college football because it's a whirlwind of stuff going around. Of stuff. So we'll to satisfy
12-0.
To satisfy Tony, we will quickly let's go into the predictions of this weekend's conference championship games. I do think there are going to be a lot of upsets, me personally, except Georgia, Alabama. Except for Georgia, Alabama. I think Georgia's going to wipe the floor with Alabama.
It's your ass now, Tony.
Good game. All right, good game, AC. Good game, AC. Fucking, I still want to know which.
I ain't got nothing to say about nothing college football.
I still want to know what curse is worse, Harold's curse or Madden's curse.
I mean, in love.
Ain't nobody got no broke arms though off of Harold. You know what I'm saying? Madden curse, cats be losing their whole knee.
Yeah, she had to.
All right, what you got there? What you got there, CJ? At number 2, what you got? Same thing?
Nah, man, I'm in a hotel.
Jared,
right, this is my my little pickup bottle I got yesterday.
Oh, I thought they welcomed you with a little basket or something.
Not liquor.
Hey, I don't know what kind of hotel you at, brother.
Can we get back on topic and start talking how great Georgia is this season? Now that the season is technically over.
Okay, let me go ahead and say this before you get.
Fuck Bama, go Dogs.
So I think Harold is crazy, and anybody else who is crazy, who thinks that Georgia just gonna mollywop Alabama. Like anybody who thinks that Alabama don't got a chance, I think they done lost their damn mind. Like it's Nick Saban and Alabama, man. There's a reason these dudes are top 2 teams on the damn poll every damn year. There's a reason for that, right? It's consistency. It's consistency. Harold, I'm talking. Shut up.
I'm sorry. My game cock is small. I do apologize for interrupting you. But go on ahead.
White people use that word, just so you know.
Appreciate it. Anyway.
Excuse me. My cock is small. Before you carry on, what are you drinking on? Are you drinking tonight? My cock is small. Oh, okay. Jose Corvo. Okay, my cock is small. I just wanted to. Okay, sorry.
I want you to listen to yourself when you
listen to yourself talk.
I know it's not me. I am talking to the light-skinned dude that does not have Georgia in the background. His name is My Cock is Small. That's what his name is. So again, I just want to.
I'm not light-skinned. I'm paperback brown.
Hey,
and I'm secure in my masculinity. That's his name.
So.
Are we not remembering that Harold had that damn Teddy Pendergrass cover on Hey, look, you know we talking those small cocks on here, cuz with that damn Penelope Jan on the picture.
And he was doing it under Luther Vandross. That's
Anyway, real quick before Tony get excited, I just think it's crazy.
Bro, I got excited after we beat Clemson and South Carolina.
So, well, okay, it ain't Tony that's gonna talk crazy because I don't think Tony believes that the game that Georgia just gonna run over Alabama. I don't think Tony really believes that.
Once you finish, I'll give my thoughts.
I think there's no reason to think why that UGA is just gonna blow out Alabama. That ain't gonna happen, though. It's not gonna happen. If y'all win, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a touchdown. I'll give you a touchdown, maybe. But I don't think. I would actually pick Alabama. I'm not gonna lie. I would pick Alabama. And it's only because not necessarily because I think Alabama is a better team than Georgia this year. I think I'm gonna rely on the brand. I'm just being honest. I'm relying on the brand, and the brand has always won. That's what it is. It has always
good
won.
to me. Sound good to me right there.
But
right,
if Georgia wins, I will not be surprised. Now, if they blow them out, I'll be surprised.
Now, let me address my thoughts on the game. And yes, it's still fuck Bama, and it's always going to be that, especially now.
Language.
No. That's acceptable. That's acceptable.
That's a Republican rules right there.
Ask Harold.
I'm not a Republican. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Now, while I will admit that on paper, Alabama is the best team that Georgia will have faced this year, we cannot discount the fact that if you look at the teams that both Georgia and Alabama have played, because we have played the same teams this year, your Floridas, your Auburns, while Alabama struggled with these teams in all facets of the game. It wasn't just like, okay, their defense was struggling, or their offense was struggling. It was all facets of the game. Georgia didn't have that problem. Now, I also understand that matchups are also they're a big part of the game. So while we matched up better with these teams, Alabama might not have. But you also cannot discount the fact that this is defense that Alabama has not seen this year. It's just the best in the nation for a reason. We played Tennessee at the time. They were the 14th ranked offense in the nation. We held them to 10 points, except for the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter where they put up 7 more points. I don't think Alabama's offense is as potent as Tennessee's is. I think their defense is something that people are sleeping on. Their defense is actually good. And where this is going to come down to, if you look at the both Alabama, who's played close games, and Georgia, who had a close game against Clemson, it's going to be who can give that first knockout punch. I'm going to stick with my team. I'm always going to stick. This is, and I told AC, this is the first year that I'm actually confident that we can actually beat Alabama. All the other times, like, yep, here we go. We got to play Alabama again. Did I ask it? This year's like, okay.
I just want to say, I watched the Alabama Auburn game, and I watched the Alabama LSU game, and I honestly, and you never want to go there, you never want to take it here, but I'm just gonna say, especially that Auburn game, I feel like somebody paid for bad coaching decisions at the end of the game.
And they didn't have Bo Nix.
I'm gonna add my 2 cents on what Aaron was
Don't nobody
saying.
care about what Alabama got to say.
That's all right. I'm talking, goddamn it. Language to myself. Who muted himself? Aaron? What happened?
No, I didn't mute him. Go ahead.
I
AC.
mean, did I offend him? What the hell?
I got my prediction after yours.
All right. I heard what Chris said. I'm inclined to agree. Tony not wrong about Georgia. And, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna pretend like none of that is true. But I think, honestly, the X factor for me is always Saban. And Saban imposes his will on his team, and he gets them boys ready to go. Now, Bama looked bad all of last week. The whole damn game, except for the last damn, what was a minute and a half.
I think it was last 3 minutes of the game. They started.
Yeah, Bama
they
like
shit.
Like Bama. They look like Bama. I mean, I watched them get skinned up by A&M earlier, a few weeks back. Bama ain't been what we would call themselves this season. It's been said already. But if you think that Nick Saban ain't gonna have these boys ready to go out here and against Georgia, and I think the only coach, you know, I think that Saban give you one of his damn proteges to beat him every now and then, and that didn't already happen. So I don't see Kirby out coaching Saban this weekend. I ain't saying it's impossible. Bama might not be Bama's year. You know what I mean? And I won't be sad if they go belly up in the game and they get kicked out of the damn playoff. I won't be sad because you know what? That means there's some more teams in here who ain't been here in the playoffs thus far. So I don't lose either way. But I really believe Saban gonna be Saban. He ain't like that bullshit. The dude was smiling after they won last week. You don't never see Saban smiling. He was smiling. He was happy.
You know, and watching that game, man, Auburn at the end of the game, they started calling Rob Marinelli defenses at the end of the game. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, you know what? This is some crap. I don't even believe this. You can't make you. Oh, you know, I ain't no hater. You know, they won the game. My team is falling apart. They won the game.
Your whole team is gone. Your whole team is gone.
Yeah, they are definitely gone. You know, so I mean, at the end of the day, I ain't no haters like that. I just feel, you know, that win against Auburn and that win against LSU, it just didn't sit. Them two wins didn't sit right with me. The other wins
and Florida, they struggled against Florida.
Well, but you know, they didn't. Florida didn't have any bad coaching decisions at the end of the game. The LSU
they're still a bad team.
Auburn game were terrible coaching decisions. And I know he's an Alabama fan, but and I'm pretty sure he watched the game. And if he watched the game like we watched the game, he has to. You gotta have seen those terrible ass like, oh well, yeah, let's play 2 deep prevent and leave the middle open.
When you took the commercial break, that's what I said. I was like, hey. I'm like, you know what? I saw what happened. I'm like,
I'm telling you now, if you leave that middle open, Brock Bowers is gonna tear your team up.
Yeah,
that motherfucker gonna light y'all up.
But I will say this though about Alabama. What's that dude named Meacham? Michi the third. Michi the third. Man. That him and that running back they got number 4, yeah, man, them dudes.
You ain't running on us, dude. You must not seen Davis and Carter in the middle. You're not running that way.
So
you're not running through the middle.
This is what I got to say. You know,
don't say nothing good about Georgia.
No. This it's not going to be about Georgia. I first of all, I do have to disagree with my light skinned friend Small Cock because I think
why you disagreeing with that Small Cock?
I think no, I gotta disagree I gotta disagree with my friend whose name tonight is Small Cock. You
know what? Before you do that, Aaron, before you do that, Aaron, let's be fair because when Harold lost his bet, he hacked the big screen. CJ needs the big screen.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I do. Yeah, I do agree.
That's not CJ.
That's you.
Nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh, Aaron feels like the Oklahoma campus.
Aaron.
Yeah, there you go. So okay. So this is where I disagree because I think it'd be more than a touchdown in which Georgia will win. And here's why. If you look at whenever Alabama has been beaten, most of the time they've been beaten in the big games. In the big games is because of defense. Defense was allowing the other opponent to put up more points. This is the first time that I've seen, other than whenever Clemson got out to a big lead, even though Alabama still had a good offense, but Alabama's offense versus Auburn was not explosive. It was stagnant until the last quarter, and of course in overtime don't really count.
It wasn't even the last quarter; it was overtime.
Yeah. Right.
They came alive in the last quarter.
My point is this: the offense. I think Auburn had the perfect defensive game plan up until that last minute or the fourth quarter and the course overtime, which I really don't count because you're getting the ball at the 3-yard line or whatever.
Well,
So
I mean, it's really the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter when they went to cover 2 prevent. With cover 2 prevent with I think I want to say they had maybe 7 linebackers on the field and 4 DBs. Like what do you? Come on.
I mean, but my whole point is that I think Georgia's defense, I mean, is great. Georgia's defense is great, and I think that if they're up by at least 2 touchdowns, or let's just say 2 touchdowns and a field goal going into the fourth quarter, it's over. I don't see the Georgia of what we used to see in the past. Georgia has been dominant. They put away the teams when they needed to put away the teams. They're doing everything what a championship caliber team should do. And it reminds me, I mean, to be honest with you, Georgia right now is looking stronger than the undefeated Clemson team, which I thought was a very good team. But these guys, I'm trying to find the weakness. I'm really, really trying to find the weakness with Georgia. And I just don't see it. True enough, you can say, hey, well, they're a little bit weak here. Look, I mean, overall, the defense is stout. I don't see Alabama coming close if that defense is playing smart and they don't, just drop the ball and beat themselves. I see Georgia easily beating Alabama 2 touchdowns. That's what I see. That's just what I believe. Alabama, this is the first time I've seen their offense be, stagnant.
Well,
like the way that they are.
Let me just throw something in there for CJ to jump in right quick. I mean, look, if Bama loses this game, it's going to be shut your mouth when I'm talking, boy. If Bama, Lord goddamn it, if Bama loses this game,
he's so goddamn shook right now.
If Bama loses this game, it's actually going to be something of what Harold leaned into and Aaron touched upon too. It's that the fact that the stagnant offense, it done caught up with Bama. Because really, man, I'm not going to sit here in front of that. Look, Bama's offense has been serviceable since probably, what was the boy in 2013? Which one of them damn boys was the quarterback? Was it McCarron?
I think it was McCarron.
I know that.
No.
He did go to the NFL.
He ain't do nothing, but he got there.
AJ McCarron's still in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right now.
So since McCarron was a quarterback, the offense has been manageable. It ain't been great. It's been worse since he left. I'm just saying, overall production.
You cannot say that.
I don't know.
Mac
Jones.
I can't.
Pretty good.
Mac Jones had that motherfucker lit. Mac Jones had that offense lit.
I mean, it's an anomaly. I give you Mac Jones. I give you that.
Think about all them receivers, bro, that's been drafted in the past.
I
got the most receivers in the league, dude. Y'all got the most receivers in the league.
All right. Listen, Moses.
But it's still Bama. It's Bama, and like you say, the receiver. Yeah, I agree with all of that. But at the end of the day, like CJ said at the beginning, the brand kind of sells the players. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying they ain't great, but I'm like, the offense wasn't always spectacular. We wasn't blowing nobody out. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Except for like the Citadel or some shit like that. But other than that, I don't know.
Then when Alabama's been beaten, it's because of their weak defense. This is the first time I'm seeing them being beat because their offense was stagnant. This is
questionable too. At a few seasons, it was.
Can we somehow get in contact with the competition committee and vote that Alabama does not play Citadel anymore?
Hold on. Let me address Jared.
Everybody has cupcakes on their schedule, bro.
Let me address Jared. McCarron was the quarterback in 13. Get it right, homie. Stop questioning Alabama people.
Hey, go check it go look at Wikipedia if you need a little help there.
You can only question Alabama people on current events, not past events, because they're 10 years behind everybody.
All right. So next question.
Like some fans I know.
Let's move over to the Big 12 Conference Championship.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's get score predictions for the game.
For Alabama, Georgia?
Yep.
First of all, I'm not going to be too much sober during that.
That's why you need to give your prediction now.
That's not even going to happen. Georgia over Alabama. There we go.
My score 23-20. Alabama.
Oh, let's write these down.
Wow.
I'm gonna go 23-31.
You said what? 23-20.
23-20. Bama.
Bama.
38-31 Georgia.
Hold on. You think that defense gonna give up 31 points?
Yeah.
I don't see neither one of them scoring 30.
Yeah.
Harold, what's yours?
Man, I say right now, going off my gut, I'm saying 35-17.
Y'all crazy.
Georgia.
Hey, look, Tony, you put me down for 17-13, Bama. Field goal take it.
That's not a field goal though.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
somebody will get a safety somewhere. I can add that. Damn it, they can still be 17.
That's a field goal impossible.
That show you how strong their schooling system is down there.
That's a field goal impossible.
Well, you know what did I say? 30? I meant 14. 17-14. My bad.
Hey,
Jared
never,
21-13 dollars.
hey, never play spades with AC because he gonna always get you the wrong books. Always.
That's why I don't play spades with Black
Tony. Right, Jared's thing. Right, Jared's prediction.
I got it.
Jared went real safe. 21-13. That's safe.
I'm gonna go out.
Huh? What's that, Aaron?
Yeah, act like y'all scared.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna be no high offensive output.
What is?
I'm gonna say.
What is Vegas?
I'm gonna say 28-17 Georgia. Just because I think Bama gonna get behind and they're gonna start committing turnovers, and the Kobe Dean gonna probably do his best. I'm playing against Florida and intercept that shit for a touchdown. I hope.
Yeah, you know, something told me to say 28-17, but I think Georgia gets a last 5-minute touchdown is what I'm saying.
That gives them 28 because I think it's 21-17 until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Bama turns the ball over and we get a touchdown and win. Hopefully.
Yeah.
God help.
Do we really want to talk about the Big 12 championship? Or we want to jump into the coaching carousel? I don't give a damn about Big 12.
Nobody cares about the Big 12.
Including the reason why.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because this goes to what I'm saying about who's going to make the playoffs. I think Baylor is going to beat Oklahoma State. I just just have a gut feeling.
Oklahoma State going to beat Baylor again. They're going to beat them again. Bama's going to lose. Oklahoma State's getting in.
Yeah, that's the only
but the question
right there.
So let me ask you this. So I think Michigan beats Iowa, but again, and here's where I'm kind of going with the brand of Michigan, not because of what good they've done, but they always messed up in important games.
Well, that was Ohio State this year. They took that monkey off their back.
Yeah.
I mean, what about when Michigan lost to Michigan State on that punt?
You honestly think the Hawkeyes are gonna beat Michigan?
I'm just think as a possible upset, I think Michigan beat themselves. I
can't side with Harold when he talk about UGA gonna win. This is what really hurts my heart.
I'm not. Look. Do I think Michigan wins? Yes, but if you want to look at who's more than likely to have an upset in the championship game, I think it is Michigan, Iowa. That's what I think.
Technically,
more than likely.
Technically, that would be Bama since Bama is 3 and Georgia is 1. Bama would have the greatest chance to have an upset since those teams are closer than Iowa and Michigan.
No. I'm looking at how Michigan is. I'm looking at the past year since Harbaugh has been there. Harbaugh has never.
The past year. You have to go by this year. You cannot go by past year. If that's the case, you need to just crown Alabama right now.
That's right.
Tell them again.
You can't go by the past years.
Hey, so fair enough.
Clemson's in the playoff if you're going by past years.
No, that's not what I meant. No, what I'm talking about is more on Harbaugh more than anything. Harbaugh in his big games since he's been there, including one since Ohio State. But I'm talking about the big games whenever something freaky always happens, like when they had the missed punt or whatever that was versus Michigan State. Whenever they gave up a lead that they had to Florida State in that bowl game. So that's the reason why I'm looking at it as that, not so much of how Michigan's done this year. It's just that whenever Harbaugh needs to close the show, he has not closed the show. And so that's the reason why I'm saying out of all the championship games, I think that more than likely, out of all the ones, I think Michigan could possibly be upset by Iowa. I don't see.
You want to know my upset watch? Honestly, and hear me out. I think it's Cincinnati.
Houston got that number.
No, I agree. I agree with that too.
Houston,
I think,
right?
They play.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good game.
Now we talk about Houston. Think about it. We've been talking and harping about how Alabama's been playing close games, but they've been playing close games against stronger opponents than Cincinnati has. Cincinnati arguably has been playing weaker opponents and has to struggle in the beginning and then have to pull it out in the end.
Yeah,
Houston. And if you want to talk about history, Houston has had that number.
And Oklahoma is looking at trying to hire that dude. All right, let me shut up.
Hey, for those of you guys watching, Aaron is a little bit upset because of what's going on with the Sooners, which is the perfect segue into let's talk about this coaching carousel thing.
Ain't a Sooner a shit eater? Ain't that what that is?
What is a Sooner? Is that a
it's
cowboy?
A dog, ain't it?
It's the thing.
It's a shit-eating dog.
That the horses pull. It's the thing that the horse pull.
Is that the thing that's in the back of your mouth?
It's a wagon.
That's a schooner, man. Not a Sooner.
That's a schooner, dude. Not a Sooner.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
I don't know what a Sooner is.
Man, get this man. Get this man right
I
now.
always thought it was the thing that the horse pull.
That's why you're a Cowboys fan too. See?
Oh no. Wait a minute. You're an Oklahoma fan. You don't know what a Sooner is. Lord have mercy.
My man, he spent 35 years of his life thinking a Sooner is a schooner.
Okay. Let's educate Aaron. Let's educate Aaron.
Where I grew up at, a Sooner was like a mutt, a shit-eating dog. That's what a Sooner
Right, it's a dog.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay, let's educate Aaron on his team.
First thing settling on land in the early West before its official opening to settlement in order to gain.
So colonizers.
Yeah, y'all are colonizers. Oklahoma colonizers.
Which actually works when you think about it.
y'all are colonizers.
I feel like we need to change that name.
Shame on you for being a fan of that.
Change that name.
Oklahoma colonizers.
Let's
go. Jared, what are you talking about?
Jared White. You cool though, Jared.
But Jared, you got CJ to help you out. Y'all be all right. Y'all, work good together.
Motherfucker, you lighter than me. Shut up.
Nah, bro. I got 3 spotlights. I got 3 spotlights above me. You sitting in the shade, and you still glow like a nightlight.
Nah, bro, you out there looking like a damn neon highlight out there against that.
Your ass look like a fucking damn. Y'all remember them light breaks we used to play with back in the day? You stick little pegs in there. His little light ass.
I was about to call you the same thing.
Look at
like one of them. You look like one of them.
Violence. What is this shit?
That motherfucker. Hey, he like one of them.
That's right. Jared is a South California USC.
Bro,
that's fun.
Oh yeah. Well,
hey CJ, you look like one of them high beam cop flashlights that be walking out in the middle of the goddamn woods to hold shit like this.
If you to color this door in this hotel room, I wish I could show it to you. This shit.
You are the goddamn door. I'm just.
Hey, so when I'm trying to get my walls painted, so I just ask for a CJ gray to beige, or what do I ask for?
Hey, you better watch it now, Harold. You better watch it back there, blending in with them damn black curtains you got back there now.
Hey, so okay.
So back to Aaron's tragic ass team over there.
Right. So
why it's got to be all that?
You was talking hot shit a couple of weeks ago, bro.
The latest rumor I heard, they were just going to elevate someone already on the coaching staff.
It don't matter. They lost everybody.
Yeah, this dude, he gonna be worse than the damn the coach of the Houston Rockets. Like,
dude,
you ain't got no talent, bro.
They just lost the number 2 quarterback commitment. The number 2 rated quarterback coming up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Look, as soon as Lincoln Riley said he was gone, but decommitted like 30 minutes later. Like, I'm fuck that.
And then he going to SC.
No, that one dude, Spencer Rattler, entered the portal too, didn't he?
Don't nobody care about him.
Exactly.
He in the portal.
Something wrong. He can't take sunlight.
Spencer Rattler was in the portal week 3.
Yeah, he was already signed his
He was already gone.
Brent Venables. So, and looking at Jared's comment, Brent Venables, I've heard that too, because he used to be there. But the thing about Brent is that he's not necessarily, he doesn't want a head coaching gig.
You should have that.
Damn sure don't want that one.
I wouldn't go to Oklahoma right now.
Is Venables black? Is he? What do he look like?
He a white dude. He played at Kansas State, and he was defensive coordinator under Stoops at Oklahoma before he left.
The fact that they're bringing Stoops back to coach the bowl game,
you need somebody.
But you're gonna bring in a dude, man. This boy been at the house tanning in the damn sun somewhere and shit.
Actually, he was fishing. He was fishing when he got the call.
I rest my case. Look, the fact that Riley and Brian Kelly is just up and quit, no 2-week notice. I'm like, look, old boy from Michigan State. Oh, what is that? Mel? What was his name? He could never do no shit like that as a black dude.
I agree. First of all, I agree with that.
They on a different pay scale than us 2-week notice people.
Hold on, bro. Look, the athletic director for Notre Dame was like, he got on TV today. And he was like, we didn't know. We appreciate Brian for coming in and telling us like he was planning on resigning. We heard some things and on the Twitter, and it got louder. We knew he was looking, and then here we are. My man was so caught off guard, he was damn near babbling in the press conference. Like Brian Kelly came in there last night and said,
"That's because Brian Kelly did the Bobby Petrino. That's what he did.
Yeah, and then text the team and say, "I apologize." And then he decided to have a meeting.
I didn't see where is he going to coach the bowl game?
Not.
Ooh, Kelly out.
No,
Kelly's gone.
He's already at LSU.
Yeah.
No, Lincoln said he's not.
No, Bob Stoops coaching the bowl game for Oklahoma.
So
how you not following your team, dude? You just cut them off right together.
The man, look.
What does my name say?
Your Gamecock is no, it's on top.
Nah, that's somebody else. That's the top dude.
Okay, my bad. It was over his head.
Yeah, that's yeah.
His name is over your head.
I can't even follow the Cowboys right now.
Hey, so breaking news, Aaron. Bob Stoops will be coaching your team in the bowl game.
But you know what's crazy? Notre Dame still has an outside shot in getting into the playoffs.
That's what's crazy. That's what I'm gonna get at, Harold. See, you was talking about upsets and stuff. I'm telling you now, if Bama lose, they going out the top 4. They out.
Win.
If they lose,
win.
And I'm telling you, y'all keep talking about Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State not getting in. They're gonna leapfrog Notre Dame. If Notre Dame win, or whatever, they finish. They finish.
But you know what? But so according to the competition committee, they look at everything. So the fact that their head coach is gone, Oklahoma State may leapfrog Notre Dame. Simply because they may say, "Hey, well, Notre Dame is
Oklahoma, who they got a leapfrog? Notre Dame is 6.
Notre Dame gonna leapfrog. Notre Dame gonna leapfrog Oklahoma State. You doubt it?
Without playing?
Money.
Without playing. Baby? So you telling me if Oklahoma State win, Notre Dame's still gonna leapfrog?
No. We're saying OK State loses.
If Oklahoma State wins and thumps Baylor, Notre Dame is not leapfrogging.
Hey, if they don't if they don't Notre Dame getting in.
No, they're not. When Bama wins and if OKC wins, Oklahoma City get in. Oklahoma State. You know what I'm talking about.
You really think the damn TV people gonna turn down the money that Notre Dame would bring?
I tell you what. Let Notre Dame in there. We need that rematch when we should have played them instead of Bama. Let them in there.
We seen worse shit in the BCS era. We seen worse.
You did say they got to have a sacrificial team in there.
I told
bring that ass in. Bring them shiny leprechauns on in here.
But I think if Oklahoma State loses and Cincinnati loses, then that'll be the perfect opening for Notre Dame to get in.
That would have to happen. You would have to have 2 teams lose. Notre Dame not leaving,
which can happen. It is possible. I mean,
Bama has to lose and Cincinnati has to lose.
Well, Cincinnati, it's a possibility. Bama is a possibility. But I'm telling y'all, the money, man. The fact that they got a damn selection committee, the shit right now phase on the poll. It's telling you who ranked well.
You know what?
You got a fail-safe committee to pick these teams. That tell you all you need to know right now.
Yeah, but you know what though? I am going to backtrack on something. I'm not backtracking on my prediction. But here's what I will say: if Alabama plays Georgia close, if it's a field goal game, and let's just say Oklahoma State loses, and let's say Cincinnati loses, I think Bama still goes in.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
I'll say
I think Alabama still goes in.
They're not gonna let a 2-loss Bama stay in there.
Why not?
If it's 20, say if it's 21-20, Georgia wins on the last second field goal, Bama still makes it. Because you're not going to sit here. You got to sit here and you got to look at Georgia's body of work. Well, they've been dropping 40 on everybody. They've been blowing out everybody that you put on their schedule, and then here come Bama and they win on the last second field goal. Now, if you up here saying Georgia is number one by far, and Bama plays them to the wire, then Bama is the second best team.
Hold on.
That's just it.
So you looked at me crazy when I said Notre Dame could leapfrog and get in. However, if Bama becomes a 2-loss team and still stays in the damn playoffs, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Didn't
but what I was saying was,
I think everybody agrees that a 2-loss Alabama should get in before Cincinnati.
Notre Dame.
If Cincinnati loses, and Oklahoma State loses, I think Alabama goes in.
I don't care if Cincinnati went out. Cincinnati gonna go to the playoffs and get treated like dog shit.
They gonna get hammered because they gonna be in the. What spot they in there? Number 4.
Yeah, they gonna come into the playoffs.
They're number 4 because it's Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati. Let me just say this.
Cincinnati's the sacrificial lamb right now.
Let me just say this. Georgia did play Cincinnati last year, but they were missing 45% of their offense, and we won. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm coming in
full strength now. And if we come out and if Alabama looks up and win and we got to play Cincinnati, we're going to have something to prove.
I'm telling you guys right now, this is the perfect storm to have chaos. Because to me, let's just say Georgia barely beats Alabama. Let's just say that. Michigan loses, Oklahoma State loses, and Cincinnati loses.
That's a lot of
then who do you put in? Who do you put in if that scenario happens?
I still say Bama. I still think
Bama too. I still think Bama goes in.
In that scenario, Harold, Bama will still get in there.
Nobody can tell me, and honestly mean it, that a 2-loss Alabama squad is not better than Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, or Notre Dame. You cannot tell me that.
If that scenario happens, besides Alabama, I don't know who else you put in. I really wouldn't know. It's like, who do you put in?
Fucking put in Oregon and BYU.
If Brian Kelly was still, it wouldn't be no questions about Notre Dame getting in. That's the thing, because really, if you find a way to put Notre Dame in without their head coach, then that's just a petty ass move by the committee to spit in Brian Kelly's face. You abandon your team.
I support pettiness. I support pettiness, so I would go for that. That's the wrong thing to say to me. Yeah, we support pettiness.
I'm all for it.
I'm really trying to think who you. I think it's a possibility. Ohio State.
Who's after Notre Dame? Who's after Notre Dame?
Baylor.
Oh, that ain't happening.
So, you know what?
Oklahoma State.
Hey,
Baylor beats.
Hey, yeah. I think Baylor belongs.
Baylor has 2 losses.
Yeah,
and so would Alabama have 2 losses.
But they're 2
losses.
losses.
You gonna put a 2-loss Baylor in before you put a 2-loss Alabama?
Especially when Alabama's loss would have been against the number 1 team. That don't make no sense though.
Number 1.
No, I'm saying Alabama still goes in. But what if Michigan loses?
And Michigan loses? Who you put in?
Right. Yeah, I think Baylor would go in.
You're gonna put in Notre Dame.
Notre Dame going.
You're gonna put them in. It don't matter.
All right, look at Notre Dame's schedule.
Still there. It don't matter.
Notre Dame has only played 1 ranked team the entire season.
You arguing logic. You're not arguing money. You're arguing the logical answer. The logical answer would be Notre Dame ain't played nobody on their schedule. But what you got to remember is Ohio State travels well.
If you know
Notre Dame travels well.
Yeah. No,
you know what?
The money.
If we are just talking money, we are talking money,
We
then
are
I can see them putting Baylor in. If
Baylor?
Baylor
if
at a
Baylor
4.
wins the Big 12,
Baylor at a 4.
I can, and we talking money. I mean,
Yeah,
people in
yeah, I
Texas
agree.
understands this, Chris.
I
Yeah.
You
agree.
might not understand it. You know what I'm saying? People in Texas understand this because there is a lot of money, a lot of loan money,
And then
old money
where are
that
the bowl
comes
games
through
being
Baylor.
played at?
Ooh, that I don't know. I'm just worried about the one Saturday. That's all I'm caring about right now.
I feel like the championship is it ain't in Dallas this time, is it? Where is it?
No,
Is it in Atlanta?
It might be
It's
Atlanta.
the bro, don't tell me that because we there. Y'all better
I
come.
think it is. I think it is in Atlanta. Who Googling it?
I'm doing it right now.
Look,
Yeah,
man,
like-
can we just be
Orange
grateful?
Bowl, Cotton Bowl. That's all it says. Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl for the playoffs, and the national championship is January 10th. They don't have a bowl down.
Oh,
It's in
well, with
Indianapolis.
Baylor,
What you about to say, Chris?
It's in
Baylor,
Indy.
no question.
It's in
It might be the
Baylor
Rose
will go.
Bowl. The Rose Bowl might be the championship game this year.
It's in
Baylor will go.
It's in
If it's in the
Indy.
Cotton Bowl,
It's at Lucas Oil.
Baylor
It's at
will
Lucas
go.
Oil Stadium. That's
No,
where
no.
it's at.
The two playoff games is Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl. Those are the playoffs.
Yeah, but the championship
Florida,
is in
Florida and Texas. Yeah.
And then the championship it just says January 10th.
Yeah.
So I think Baylor would go. And Baylor would go to the Cotton Bowl. No question.
If we talking money and Baylor go to the Cotton Bowl, it's gonna be a whole lot of mother suckers getting paid.
Yeah,
Look,
Aaron's gonna be one of them.
Baylor might get thumped,
Let's
but they gonna get thumped. It's gonna be a lot of people watching their team get thumped with fat pockets.
What
Wait,
bowl is in
and,
Indy? What bowl is in Indy?
The championship.
the championship game.
Yeah, but what bowl?
No bowl. This is what the
There's no
championship is.
bowl in India.
They just have
Yeah,
it
they
at
just-
Lucas Oil Stadium.
They rotate
Okay.
the stadium. They rotate the stadiums every now and then.
All right,
Well,
man.
shit, they
need to be closer to the
Let's
South,
end
man.
this conversation. Let's end this conversation with a fuck Clemson. They're
fuck
not gonna be
Bama.
in any of them games. And
Fuck
what's
Bama.
next time?
Fuck Bama.
Hey, tip of that nonsense.
Fuck that.
What's next, Harold? What's next? I'm
Hey,
with Chris on that.
So I guess the main thing that I did want to talk about is this. What do y'all think about LSU's hire of Brian Kelly? Y'all think it's the right move or what?
I don't care.
I don't
This is
think-
gonna be
I don't think
sacrificed. It's a sacrifice for Bama.
That's it.
That's
I think
it.
it's a good. I think it's a good move for LSU. I think
Of course
they
you think it's a
need.
good
They need.
move.
They need
Here's
a
the thing,
name.
man. You had that. Like he said, they had to hire a name.
You had to get
Like,
a name.
You couldn't come out there after just firing Ed Orgeron, which I don't think they should have fired the dude yet. But anyway, they
dude, he
you
was
had-
sleeping
you had-
with students, man. Come
you
on.
had to replace
Half of them are doing that. Half of them doing
I
that.
mean,
bro.
Les
Urban
Miles
Meyer.
was doing that shit. Bobby
Urban
Petrino had
Meyer.
it on the back of his motorcycle.
man. Have they proved that? Have they proved that?
He had a couple.
Well,
He had a couple
He
here.
had a
He had a
picture.
couple.
Yeah, they proved that.
Hey, he had a couple here in Atlanta, but you ain't hear from me.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Is he
was
married?
Definitely proved that.
Which one?
Yes.
Oh, Ed
Petrino.
is married.
No, Ed O got divorced after
Yeah,
the
he
championship.
was.
Yeah.
We was talking about Petrino.
Oh, I'm talking about Ed Orgeron. Then I don't care what he's doing.
But then hold on. Here's the thing about Orgeron. Orgeron, they was gonna get rid of him anyway because
He can't talk.
That man, he can't. First, number one, he ain't the guy you want going into somebody's house trying to recruit a student because he don't have that. As you said earlier, Chris, it's the brand. Orgeron representing the brand ain't working. But you bring in Kelly, who are the winningest coach at Notre Dame.
That ain't saying shit when you ain't playing nobody.
Hey, that don't even matter. All they gonna see is an old white man and the coach at Notre Dame. Come on in, sir. Welcome to our home. That's all it is. He's a name. He's a name
So-
to get the recruits.
But
Let
my
me
thing
ask
is,
y'all something. Do
I
y'all
just
think
believe-
Kelly fits in with that LSU culture though?
No,
I don't see it.
Hell no.
No.
But the
That's
donors,
the thing, though. I agree. They had to hire a big name. It couldn't have
Mhm.
been somebody on the come up. But I also, like you just said, I do not think that he fits LSU.
Mm-mm.
not in the South.
And that's what I thought Ed Orgeron did. I thought when you thought LSU, you got that Ed Orgeron joker who can't you know what the hell he's saying. He talking like he got.
he like that dude off the water boy. He like dude off the water
That's
boy.
it.
For real.
Yeah, I thought he fit perfectly. I'm like, oh, that boy, yeah, that's
Let me ask y'all something.
He's a little
Let me
bit.
ask- Let me ask y'all something. We have all sat here and we've seen Notre Dame and how the suckage of Notre Dame with Kelly being there, correct?
Right.
We've seen this.
Mhm.
We've seen
Yeah.
the teams that he
Listen.
we've seen the teams that he has put onto the field. And when they match up against SEC teams, they got demolished. Right? Do you really think that his recruiting style that he had at Notre Dame is going to transfer to LSU? Because if you're not bringing in them players that they bring into LSU, if you bring in them Notre Dame players to LSU, that's bad business. That's bad business. Because that's Vanderbilt. That's Vanderbilt all over.
You ain't wrong.
You know what? I will give the SEC this though. They're not like any other conference when it comes to recruiting. Like they go all over the place and recruit. The SEC will go to Fargo, South Dakota, and you won't know who this motherfucker is. But then he'll come to a SEC team and be like,
he'll be a 3-star.
Ball out.
He'll be a 3-star.
He's gonna be a 3-star offensive guard and be drafted in the first round in 3 years.
Damn sure will.
Well, where he from? Oh, he from Fargo. Where the fuck is Fargo?
You know what though? On paper, let me say this in connection with Kelly and to Tony's point. On paper, right now, Lincoln Kelly got the better deal going to USC. You know what I'm saying?
He got the easiest path to the playoff.
Lincoln Riley.
Riley?
Who the hell did I say?
You said Lincoln Kelly.
Oh shit, my bad. That's R. Kelly brother. Anyway, Lincoln Riley got he got the better deal going to USC. He got an easier path to the playoffs if he can win.
He got the better deal anyway. If they bought him a $6 million house
and bought
another 2 houses off.
Yeah,
okay,
so what Tony?
Shit, I'd have left. Fuck Oklahoma.
For shits and giggles, let's just say Brian Kelly comes to LSU and he out recruits Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, which we already know not gonna happen.
No, but we shit and
he might not out recruit Jimbo Fisher.
Or what's one call that Ole Miss.
The dude at Texas A&M, he's not gonna out recruit him either.
Nah.
Hey man, what about my boy at South Carolina? He gonna out recruit him?
We don't talk about them. Y'all just score. Hey, if you scored a point, if you scored a point in your last regular season game, raise your hand. Chris, put your hand out.
Hold on, Tony. Let me go into your original point about Kelly and fitting into the culture, whatever. No, Kelly don't fit into the Louisiana culture. He don't. However, his name recognition is going to appeal to them damn boosters, and LSU need that money. Especially if anybody filing them old lawsuits related to that Les Miles bullshit. They gonna cut them checks.
Yeah,
Kelly's a stopgap measure.
You know what LSU need to do? They need to stop acting like they acting and go on and get with Master P.
That ain't gonna happen. So how long do y'all think Brian Kelly gonna last at LSU? How long y'all think he gonna last?
He got a 10 year. He got a 10-year deal, right?
3 seasons.
I say 3 to 4. I say 3 to 4.
I say 4 seasons.
I say anywhere because after he started getting mud stomped by Alabama every year, and then Auburn eventually might turn it back around. You got to deal with Ole Miss all the time. Now you got to deal with Texas A&M, and you better hope to God Georgia ain't on your schedule, or Florida, or Tennessee when they turn it around. You better hope that's not. Why would you want to do that to yourself? How are you going to pitch that? Hey, we got to play Alabama every year, or Nick Saban coming to their house. You want to be on Alabama every year? You want to have a chance to go to the national title, or you want to be the guy? Hey, we got to go through Alabama to get to the title.
That man saw $95 million on that check. That's all he needed to see. That was it.
Hey, I know we talking about LSU and all that, but I just read something that said they expect Miami to move on from Manny Diaz and hire Mario Cristobal from Oregon.
We just swapping out one for the
other. I don't understand what some of these programs are doing. I really don't.
You know what? They don't want to hire.
Basically.
Yeah.
I said the same thing when Miami took Mark Rick off our hands. What the fuck are y'all doing? Did y'all not see the shenanigans he was doing here? What did y'all think was going to happen?
And he got the shakes or something?
I mean, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah. I couldn't remember.
You know he part of the Fantastic Three dance crew.
No, there it is.
Ali and Michael J. Fox.
But here's here's the issue that I see with this coaching carousel thing. If you notice, this is what I think what's going to have to happen with all these coaches, because if you look at Kelly recruiting at Notre Dame, which they have a high academic standard, and now you're going to LSU, and you're going to have right. I mean, you're gonna have to really, you're used to talking to a certain group of people whenever you're recruiting at Notre Dame. That's just facts.
Yep,
and so the main thing is
you coming down here with suspenders and Crocs.
Look,
and
champion
crocodiles.
Look, champion hoodies and shit.
I mean, the main thing is that the being able to relate to a student athlete is going to be a hard thing, I think, for him to do. Now with Mr. Raleigh heading out to USC, USC's brand is in trouble. And this is just, if you look at it now, almost 20 years ago since they've been relevant. And now it's, how people look at college football, the landscape. Let's just face it, the South, including, I know Ohio's not part of the South, but if you look at the South, that's just where it is. They have good athletes out in California, but they are not the traditional Southern football players that we're used to that are really dominating the game. And you're going to have to be able to recruit from the South to get people to go out to California. And that is going to be hard. That is difficult.
This ain't got established powerhouses close to home. You got to think, some of these kids, they gonna want their parents to come see them every home game. It's a lot easier for somebody in the South to go to one of these Southern schools than to go to Ohio State or Michigan or USC or even a Washington and have their parents flying out who paying for all that? Some of these kids don't have that type of money.
You know what though? And then the second part of that is this: all along the West Coast, weed is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because weed is legal, the program gonna allow you to dibble in that.
That is correct.
So you got it coming from the South where weed is not legal, unless
and they drug test the hell out of your ass.
You know what I'm saying? Versus, so it's gonna be a lot for a player coming from the South going over to the West Coast to play.
I really think what's going to have to happen is with the NIL procedures and players are getting paid, and California does have a lot of money. And you look at the time that Reggie Bush and all those players were there, it was Hollywood, glitz and glamour. That was selling to a lot of the athletes. The problem is now, if you look at a lot of southern cities, there's a lot of southern cities that are not necessarily in poverty. Atlanta, which is about an hour and a half away from Athens. Of course,
depending on how you drive and if the state patrol is up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alabama, who is like an NFL factory. All right, so you're not going to recruit over that. I just think that
Alabama, now, you got to fight Alabama and Auburn.
Right. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I think the brand is severely damaged.
And then you talking about Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC. Now you got Texas and A&M, and Oklahoma. You got to fight against too.
Iron sharpens iron.
In all honesty, man, really, they got the damn recruitment wrong. Riley should have went to damn LSU, and Kelly would have did better at USC.
I agree with that. Man, that's a good point. I agree.
You, Moses, finally made a damn point with this shit.
Man, you know what? I don't like you, man. I mean, because I really think,
if Riley had went to LSU, he wouldn't have made it down 35.
He should have just stayed at Oklahoma.
He wouldn't have made it down 35. He would have got on 30 for Norman and made it to the Choctaw Casino and. Oh, we don't know what happened to Lincoln, right?
His ass should have resigned after he left town. His ass should have resigned from LSU campus when he should have did.
Hey, man. Hey, real quick, old buddy from the head coach for the Jags, he gonna go back to college football?
Fuck yeah.
He going back?
2 years. 2 more years.
I'm gonna give him one less year than Tony gave him. Next year is a wrap.
I agree. I'll say next year.
He's gonna have a mysterious tumor grow out his ass again or something like that. He always got some kind of body part issue with some shit.
He do.
He can always go.
That's what he mean.
If that happened, he can always go see Deshaun's massages.
Hey, that's something he got FMLA paperwork. He on the coach of FMLA paperwork. Like, my tumor bothers me. I got to resign and shit. Sorry,
mysterious tumor.
He do. Y'all got a damn tumor or something in his head that's wrong with him and shit every time. He's old sorry. Right. He gonna leave Jacksonville. Let's go.
So let's start talking about the NFL now. I know we
don't have to.
Well, again, we talked about Georgia and college football and the coaching carousel.
We can stop there.
So now, well, come on, man. We talked for the last 15, 20 minutes about NFL. I think, right. I'll say F them too because they're getting on my damn nerves. That's what I got to say.
I wanted to tell Chris this. If the AFC don't be careful,
hey,
the Patriots may wind up.
Don't say nothing, dog. You ruined
it. Yeah.
First of all, Chris,
you ain't supposed to talk about it. I ain't said nothing about it.
Fuck that. I'm talking about it, Chris.
I ain't said
what did I tell you
on purpose?
Because we tried to tell you about Mac Jones.
Everybody here is my witness. What was I telling you about Mac Jones at the beginning of the season? What I tell you about that boy?
You gave him credit. I'm not gonna lie.
And he's the highest rated rookie quarterback.
I was not happy with them drafting him. I was,
and that motherfucker is lighting the league up.
And he's been the best rookie quarterback. Now I will also say this though. I will also say, of all the rookie quarterbacks, he's been put in the best position.
Yeah.
So,
but we said that.
Well,
Who told you that? Ain't no Mike. It's no Mike.
But what I'm saying
no Mike.
Tony, I admit I was wrong about the dude already. What you want me to say? I said I was wrong about the dude. The dude is playing good ball.
You got to keep saying it.
He's playing good ball.
Right?
He's playing good ball. He's still making some stupid mistakes. I watched him make some not so great smart decisions this past weekend. If
he's making that in his third year, then you got to worry about it.
Yeah. No, you're right. And again, it's a process, right? Now, I don't think we're not going to rely on him to go out there and try to win the game every week. We can't do that, right? We still got to run the ball. I mean,
you got 3 tight ends.
Stevenson looked good too. The rookie running back looked good too.
That was from Oklahoma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, I haven't been talking about him or said much about him because I think we kind of flying under the radar. You know what I'm saying?
You're not. You leading your division.
That's where I want us to be. Nope, that's where I want us to be.
You guys are not under the radar anymore, man.
I think you guys are.
I think right now you guys are the best team in the AFC.
If we beat,
no cap.
No, I think the Bills are still better than us. I just think they.
What? You're joking? No.
Well, I take that back. I take that back. I take that. Well, now that White is missing from their defense, we might be better than them. But before that, I don't know. We're
saying now you guys are the best team in the AFC, and you guys are making a Super Bowl run at the right time. And y'all have the best coach.
We had at the right time. I'll give you that. It's still though. If we get into a game where if we get into these games where our defense ain't on, we can't. I don't think we can compete offensively really against these elite offenses like the Bills. Like it. I don't think we can keep up.
Jacksonville shut them down. Why can't y'all?
That was
right.
Okay. That was one time. You're right. I get that. But I'm saying we get into games where it's a shootout. That ain't our. They're not gonna. I don't think they can win those games.
You guys are not gonna be in a shootout though because you guys are playing. Good. To me, y'all are reminding me what I thought the Tennessee Titans was going to be before Derrick Henry got hurt. So to me, y'all are the most consistent team right now.
And Julio and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Boy, poor Ryan Tannehill, boy, he can't win for losing. That dude, he don't know who the hell he throwing the ball to. You know what, man? I almost came out of retirement like a month ago to go try out for them jokers at 35.
What was you going to play?
Shit, I can run some routes, dog. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be very fast no more.
When it takes you 3 days to come out your cut, that's not important.
My knees ain't that bad, Tony. My knees ain't that bad, Tony. I can still get out the cut.
It goes 0 to 60 in 7 hours.
My knees ain't that bad. I can get out the cut still, dog.
You know what?
By the time you get out the cut, they on the plane going to the next game.
Hey, I think. Look, I really think. Though. Look.
Like, God doggone.
I really think, man,
Like
that
CJ's still out there running. What you doing?
Bill Belichick took some offense last season to folks saying it was Brady and not Belichick. I think he took some offense.
Last season it was.
I think he did. But here's the thing, though. It was true last season, though. It doesn't make it any less true. It was. He proved we saw what we saw last year. That was a fact.
Yeah.
Now like you said, Bill's
now I don't feel like he gave Cam a fair shake, but
Cam didn't fit the system.
Cam was Cam, bro.
That's it.
Man, they gave Cam a fair shake. That dude is just garbage.
Cam did not fit that system.
Cam was the Brian
Cam does not fit any system right now.
He did not fit.
What
Cam does not fit any system.
What were they supposed to do though? Like, think about it. Think about this. Think about the way Mac has played all season, and then think about just what Cam just did in his last game.
Right. I'm agreeing with you.
And again, I was the guy saying, man, we should have kept Cam, bro. Didn't I say that? I said we should have kept Cam.
You was the only one. You was the only one saying it.
You're the only one out of everybody, even your other Patriots fan.
I was like, I don't think they should have let him go yet. They should have made Mac wait a little bit.
And then you call Mac fat too.
But look, I did call him fat.
He is though. It's fatback Mac and cheese.
He is still fatback Mac. You know what I'm saying?
That motherfucker is a body double for Barney. Have you not seen his pictures?
Yeah, that's been stacked like a pile of mashed potatoes.
You should get thick tattooed across his back. THICC. That's what he should get across his back.
But no,
all right. So
what I'm saying though is Cam got a fair shake though, man. Like he
did.
Obviously, Bill and them saw what they saw that we didn't see or that I didn't see, right? And so, I mean, what were they supposed to do? You can't argue against winning, Aaron. You can't argue against it. This dude is winning games. But why was he not? Tell us why you think he didn't get a fair shake though. Because
I think it was more just the way.
Yeah, why do you disagree with the small clock guy?
I can't answer that now.
You really do need to stop addressing him like that.
Let's be real about Cam for a second, though. Look, man, Cam. I told y'all, I think early in the season, man. Look, Cam. Once Cam started having them busted wheels on him and shit, you really start to see that he. I know he's been an MVP at one point or whatever, but Cam,
he never changed his game.
Right there, Tony.
I'll agree with that. He didn't learn how to be a
He relied too much on his legs. He didn't learn his progressions like he should have. His accuracy, I think, was under 50%. Then they started knocking his ass out of the frame and taking the legs out of him. He couldn't throw the ball. He became.
I was watching some of his game this past week, man. It's like every throw was late. It was like, it was just off the mark. I mean, I think he threw 3 or 4 picks. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly
too.
The dude had a 10 QBR.
They took mercy on him by benching him. Like they took mercy on him.
Yeah, he needed. Bro. I mean,
I was like, it was like every once in a while QB's getting some, they get some bad luck with a tip ball interception and shit like Brady. Like Brady, look, I think half of Brady's interceptions this season were like a tip ball or something.
I heard a few of my saw was tips. You ain't lying about that.
That's what I'm saying. But
which gonna bring me up to our next point once we get to that.
But that's what I'm saying. Cam was just throwing the ball to the other team on Sunday, dog.
Cam had to look like Neil O'Donnell in the Super Bowl.
He had to throw the ball to the Dolphins, dog.
Oh my God.
Bro, I was pissed because I had him on my damn DraftKings lineup too because he was cheap. I was like, I'm gonna get him and I can, because he did good.
I wonder why he was cheap.
No, he was cheap the week before and put up like 24 points.
He set you up, dude. He set you up for the hooky dude.
No, he did. I went back to the whistle well one too many times.
Hey,
what you got, Tony, man?
I just want to shout out to my fantasy football team when I lost Chris McCaffrey and George Kittle off my team, and I still made the championship bracket, even though I had to make 52 waiver wire moves. I still made it. I might be the 4 seed, but I'm in there.
So what do y'all think about the NFC? Now I'm all out of sorts as far as who's the dominant team. To be honest, I know it ain't the Cowboys, and it's not the Rams. And it's not the Rams. Right now it is Green Bay, even though I still think their defense is suspect. But this has been an interesting season.
Defense can be suspect as long as the offense is producing.
Yep.
As long as Karen is producing like he producing. What can you say? Shit, Cowboys played. They act like they didn't want to win. I
Yeah,
stopped watching the game. Man, I
Y'all
can't.
start pumped out when y'all beat Atlanta, but then y'all realize, oh wait,
Oh
it was
no, I
Atlanta.
didn't. I
Harold,
didn't. I was just like, I can understand. I can see them not trying so much in the Kansas City game if they were going to give their all in the Thanksgiving game or vice versa. But shit, they didn't do shit. They just showed up. They
I
just put
got a
some
question for
pads
you
on.
Cowboys fans when you finish talking, Aaron.
that didn't never happen because then you'll start talking about their titles and the championships from 82 years ago, and then we'll be here all night.
Hey, look, Aaron and Harold, and this to y'all, man, as Cowboys, as resident Cowboys fans,
Fuck the
unfortunately
Cowboys.
for y'all. Ezekiel Elliott, what do y'all
He
think
walked.
of this dude, man, overall? I argued with
I
somebody
think
recently
he is.
about him.
I was talking to my brother about this. I think Pollard should be the starter and Zeke should be the third down back.
So I'll say this: when they on the field, bro, like
He
because
said Cowboys fans.
but I mean, I watch their games too. I like
Because
because I got
Can we
CD
hear
Lamb on
from
my roster.
Harold? Can we hear from Harold?
Oh my bad. Go ahead, though. My bad. Fuck you, Tony.
It's the only time we actually want to hear from him. Oh, he left.
Oh,
There.
I'm
damn.
sorry.
Damn, I was offended Aaron with that
but
too.
nah, I think because all right, so Thursday, watching the game Thursday, man, Pollard was running all over the Raiders. And then here we go putting Zeke back in on first
But
down
is
and
this
second down. And they were doing that whack ass draw play that wasn't working. And then they turn around and put Pollard in, and then he go for 20 yards, and then you put Zeke back in for him to go for 2 yards on 3 straight carries. Like,
so? Is
this
it
shit.
fair to say that Zeke got his money and now he ain't playing?
He not
Or
eating like he was supposed to.
I mean,
Well,
what's your opinion,
well,
Aaron?
every Cowboys running back after Emmitt Smith has done that, got their money and then stopped running.
But
Except
damn,
DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray was the only one
Man,
that kept, and they didn't even want to pay him.
they did not. They did
DeMarco
not.
Murray was the only one that was still worth something after he got a little bit of something. But everybody after Emmitt Smith, when they got their money, they stopped running.
man,
Yeah.
I think that when you watch the game, it looks like Pollard clearly has more juice. I will say that. Now, I don't think Zeke is a bum by any stretch of the imagination.
Nah, he not a bum.
I still think he could play, but I think with the style of offense that the Cowboys play, I do think Pollard is probably a better asset than Zeke on that roster. The way they want to play, they want to play quick, fast, a little up tempo. They want to get the ball they want to get the ball on the edge. They want to use speed. I think Zeke has a place, and Zeke can catch the ball too. But I think that the way they play, I think Pollard is probably the better option. But I don't think Zeke is washed though. I'm not gonna say he's washed, but I will say that it appears that he got his money, and now it's I'm gonna do what I can, but I'm not out here trying to feast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, I mean, Pollard clearly looks like he's got more juice, man. He's on the field, so
I agree. I think, and you said something very key with how the offense is running. Because if you look at our offensive line, which is not the, dominant power rush offense we used to do on the Emmett, and that's what Zeke needs, because, to have those wide gaping holes is what made Emmitt Smith good. And Zeke was, kind of a similar runner. What we need is, the more elusive type, which is what Pollard is. It's just the fact that because our offensive line is not the greatest, by the time he gets the ball, a lot of times Pollard is already being touched. But because he's elusive, he's able to escape that. Zeke, on the other hand, kind of reminds me of on his way down. If y'all remember Marion Barber, Marion the Barbarian, he ended up getting broken down. I mean, he was the backup, and then he became the starter. And matter of fact, that's when DeMarco Murray left. Barber became the starter. He had that one good season. After that, it was a wrap. And that's why I see what's going on right now. Go ahead.
I could be wrong, but when I watch the Cowboys play, it looks like they're they are playing like from a running game standpoint. They're trying to, like you said, they're trying to play power football, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no coach or nothing, no NFL coach, but they would probably be better suited to go to like a more of a zone blocking scheme, because you ain't
They
you know you ain't
should.
you
They
ain't
should.
they
Yeah,
not
I
up
agree.
They should.
they not up front mashing dudes, right? But you get the zone blocking scheme and you get cats running, you know, diagonal, and then you let your elusive back find the hole, right? That's what you do when your offensive line ain't you ain't got that powerful offensive line that's just pushing people around. You know what I'm saying?
Like the
Uh,
Falcons.
you,
That's what I'm saying. That's what they were doing. That's when every last week when Pollard had 5, 6 yards a carry, when he got the ball and he went 6 or more yards, that's what they were doing. They were doing zone blocking. And I was actually at work watching the game, but I'm sitting there like, why do you stop doing what's working? So it's and again, this goes back to what I said about the Alabama Auburn game. Is it you don't want to win, or did Vegas get in your pockets? Did Vegas get in somebody's pockets?
Man, if the Cowboys, what the Cowboys should do, they should go watch the film from the Washington Potatoes game last night and see how that zone blocking scheme really was working for Antonio Gibson last night.
Yeah.
Because Zeke could do the same thing, maybe better.
I agree, but I mean, let's face it, that's not our only problems. Defense now becoming even more worried. I mean, true enough, we got some players that are out, but our
Well,
secondary,
the thing.
particularly one player
Oh,
in
Brown.
our secondary that I'm like, anytime you leave in some guy that has 4 PIs, and you leave him in,
Well,
I'm questioning what kind of depth you have at that position.
here's the thing. It ain't just him.
I've never seen that.
Don't get me wrong. I think what's his name? Brown? Is it the Brown? Is that
Yeah,
his
it's
name?
Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
Anthony Brown. Don't get me wrong, man. He was out there getting toe up. But look, I like Diggs as a player. I think he's a really good young player. But Diggs, if he ain't catching interceptions, he's giving up a lot of plays too.
He does.
Go look. Yeah, I want to say a couple weeks ago, he was one of the guys, like one of the corners that was giving up like the most yards.
Mm-hmm.
He does,
He does
but
that because he takes a lot of chances.
right.
That's why that happens.
He's trying to bait what he's trying to do, which he needs to stay to technique.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's hurt. Like, the 7 interceptions look great, right? But when you give it up 70, 80, 100 yards a game, is that one interception worth giving up 70, 80, 100 yards a game?
Right.
Probably not.
Take away from big, but I agree with you.
But here's the thing, though. He's giving up 70, 80, 100 yards every game, and he's giving you one interception every 2 games, right? You see what I'm saying? On average.
I see what you're saying, but again, I don't think granted, I agree with everything you're saying, but I still think he is still a strong point. I don't think he's a weak point within our whole defense.
Anthony Brown has always been the weak point in the secondary. I don't know why I figured maybe they just can't find a left side cornerback to replace him.
Look at it this way, right? Let's say first and 10, team goes 70 yards. They throw that ball against Diggs, right? Then very next play, they, let's say they're on the 20-yard line. They score a touchdown pass. It's 20 yards. It's on Anthony Brown's side of the field, right? Diggs just had a big, he didn't give up the touchdown, but he gave up everything to get there. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you got to look at it. Like, it's not. I know that he's getting you guys some turnovers and all that, but at the same time, those, you can't consistently bank on a guy catching a pick every game. It doesn't happen. It's just like touchdowns, right? It's a positive regression or negative regression that's going to take place eventually. So I mean, it's still hurting your team. I think he could be, if he, did more, played, better technique and, stopped always trying to, make the big play, just play your position. Then I definitely think he would be, a lot better. It'd be better for your team. It'd be better for your team. I'll put it that way. It might not be better for his stat sheet, but it's gonna be better for your team. Where did Moses go?
He probably went to go part his red P.
Wow.
Hey, NBA
Well,
game,
there he
NBA
is.
game update. Oh Lord, there he is.
Fuck you, Tony. I don't even know what you said, but you get that.
That's why you over there having a stroke. What?
Looks like the Brooklyn's about to beat the Knicks. Looks like.
Well, big whoop. So, any more topics? Any overs? Something that we've not covered tonight, gentlemen?
Oh, did y'all see
I have
RG3
What?
drop the book? Was
Oh,
that a real book?
yes.
I wanted to ask, is that a real book?
I was going to
That
ask
is
that
a
too.
real
Is it
book.
real?
It comes out in
It's a
like
real
2
book.
years. It comes out in like 2 years.
Well, ain't it like next August?
Yeah, sure.
What year is this? 2021? Yeah, I think she come out next August.
It's
which is
the
a long
year
time.
Alabama falls.
Well, shit.
So I guess we were talking early on, and Nessa had her opinion. Shout out to Nessa, by the way. But she was saying that hey, if he really knew about all this stuff, why didn't he say why didn't he speak out earlier? And
August 9th, 2023.
and I think one thing I want to say, I still want to commend RG3 for coming out with all the stuff because the Redskins ruined that man's career. Shanahan and Snyder. Oh, go ahead.
Answer Vanessa's question, RG3 comes from a little town in Central Texas called Killeen.
Mm.
And if anybody has ever lived in Killeen, once money get to talking, you gonna go on and just let me just shut up and make my money and deal with what I need to deal with so I can make my money. Because other than the military, there is absolutely nothing in Killeen.
Sure ain't. That's where was it Fort? What's the name? What's it called?
Fort Hood.
Fort Hood. Yeah, Fort Hood is there. That's the only thing.
That's where all them people come up missing.
Yeah.
So you made a good
Elizabeth.
point, Aaron. I think from the standpoint is if RG3 would have came out with all that information, especially after his knee got blown out, if he would have said these things, then he would have been ostracized, in my opinion. He would
have got that Kaepernick treatment.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not defending. I mean, anytime something like that happens, someone should speak out. But I think at that time, this was before the Me Too movement. Now, I think that, let's just say all these things would have happened during the time of the Me Too movement, whenever his knee got busted up and everything else, then yeah, he probably would have been safer with speaking out about it. But I am curious to see what all he knows. I'm curious to see his perspective on everything. And I think this is going to hurt owner Snyder. I think, he's already damaged goods.
What else can they do? I mean, Snyder's clearly running a damn shit show of an organization, and yet he's still running the organization. Like, what do somebody to die in the stadium on live TV for anything happen to the Redskins organization? Oh, I'm sorry. The Washington football team, like, I mean, they got emails that you won't release.
Right.
You got there's a lot. The cheerleaders suing right now behind being forced to be escorts and shit. You got all the makers of a chaotic shit show going on right there, and yet nobody's saying nothing. Nobody in the NFL open their mouth. Jerry Jones ain't got nothing to say. Him and Snyder been in cahoots to get rid of Kaepernick.
Bro, have y'all heard anything about the whole Gruden thing and him like making them make these all these emails public? Because I hope that happens.
Yeah, that's gonna be
He's suing.
Lawsuit. That's a lawsuit.
That's what I'm saying. But I haven't heard nothing about it.
He's gonna bring a whole lot of people down.
They finna cash his ass out. They finna pay him off.
Gruden is about to act like the women's porn. He gonna tell on everybody. That's what I think.
Well,
that's fine. I'm here for it.
Me too. But going back to the point about RG3, I guess once he knew he wasn't gonna play no more, his career was pretty much over. I guess he decided to go ahead and do the book because he'd had a couple years of opening his mouth, but he was in Baltimore. And for me personally, I always looked at RG3 like an ass anyway, because when he blew his knee out the first time, he's out on TV hollering about, we soldiers and I got to be out here with my men and, this is war. I looked at him like a fool in. I'm like, you programmed real good. You done tore your ass out the frame for these folks, and they put you on the damn bench for Kirk Cousins, who Cousins ain't shit. Shout out to Minnesota. They sorry ass quarterback.
Man, Kirk Cousins playing good. He playing good this year though.
Yeah, okay.
He got like 20. He got like 23, 24 touchdowns, like 3 picks.
What the record is?
what are they like 6-6 or something? 6 and
They might be 6-5.
They right around 500. They right around.
They ain't going to the playoffs, you know. But I mean, RG3 sacrificed his body and he got replaced and then ran up out of town and ended up in Cleveland, all places. I think before he went to the Ravens. But they treated that man like shit. So I'm interested, like Tony said or whoever said it. I want to see what he got to say about the organization, and I hope he let it all out too. Don't hold nothing back. Let him have it.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. I'm curious to have y'all. I mean, I don't know. I read, but is that a weird thing to have a pre-release a whole year in advance?
I thought that Harold. I was like, why the hell you announcing it? And it's we 8-9 months out. Like, what you doing?
Yeah, right. I don't understand that either.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to build up some heat for it or what. But
probably trying to build up some heat. If he got some heat in that book, I get it.
But December, bro.
But this ain't a Marvel movie. This ain't a Marvel movie, dude.
He trying to pull a Scottie Pippen. That's what he trying. He trying to pull a Scottie Pippen.
Damn, you gotta win early though. Kind of like his career.
Oh.
With that being said, we thank everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed us.
Fuck Bama.
What's Saeed?